Welcome down the rabbit hole, friends. I made a video 2 days ago addressing this topic, and I wanted it to be my last, but I feel compelled to finish the story with a check-in on how Stephen Hilton is using the opportunity he was given by the court. Laura and Stephen went to court for the restraining order 2 days ago, and my belief about what happened in the court is this. Laura presented most of her evidence, but not all. They did not come to any conclusion, but it's likely the judge admonished them both to stay offline and not talk about any of this. Stephen agreed to go to rehab. He entered rehab yesterday, supposedly. Both parties posted to their social media they would be done talking about this online. Laura maintained custody of the kids for now. They were to reconvene in court in August. Okay, so I thought Stephen was given an excellent opportunity by the judge to, number 1, get an attorney if he so chooses. Number 2, start rehab. Number 3, prove to the judge that he would not talk about Laura anymore. And number 4, definitely prove that he is not stalking or threatening Laura. Early this morning, Stephen did the exact opposite. Allegedly from rehab, he posted this. Laura, I will beat the fuck out of this dude now. I know who he is and you know who he is. Anytime, anywhere, I will fucking destroy him. And he included this picture. There's no way to see the full picture. He's just screenshot part of it, and it says, announce that I have people involved very deeply in internet security, and their results have just come in, and you know, and I know who did this. So I'm imagining that Stephen is talking to Laura in this post, and he's talking about the hacking incident, which we've talked about before. Laura believes that Stephen hacked her accounts and tried to delete most of her social media. And for me, I've put out there that although it's possible Stephen did do this, and there is some surface evidence to lead us to believe that, lead us to look towards him and think he may have done it, I really want to see concrete evidence from authorities saying who did it, and we shouldn't convict someone without having all of the evidence. There are a lot of people out there, especially hysterical, obsessed, concerned fans who do all kinds of crazy shit. I've been through it on my own. Laura claims that she has gathered evidence, submitted it to authorities, and she has a private group working on figuring out who hacked her. I need to see the evidence before I come to any conclusions. Now, we have Stephen making allegations that he has his own team, and they traced it back to someone close to Laura. Okay, it's hard to believe all of this from Stephen, mainly because it's difficult to trace anything. And it usually takes authorities to do real tracing because they might have to get subpoenas for accounts and all that kind of jazz. Sometimes they can never trace it back to the point of origin. Either way, it's insane and a deal breaker for Stephen to post about it online and to threaten to kill Laura's current boyfriend. At least that's who I think he might be talking about. And it's scary. Scary for the kids, scary for Laura, maybe scary for the boyfriend. I think Stephen has sealed his fate to definitely wind up with a restraining order from Laura, possibly also one from the new boyfriend or whoever he's talking about. And he also posted this. So it looks like Stephen looked up the name Laura Cleary on like ChatGPT or something, and it said this, what's written in the picture. Laura Cleary is a comedian, actress, and social media influencer known for her humorous content. So as you scroll down, it also talks about how she has this podcast called Idiot with Laura Cleary, and it has featured discussions on topics such as co-parenting and narcissistic abuse and trauma bonds. Okay, so I think this is kind of what he is upset about, that she's now doing this podcast all about how he's a narcissist, and she's essentially saying that he abused her and there were trauma bonds going on. I think that's why he puts this picture up, but he says this above. This is a narcissist making money off my own personal struggles. Imagine throwing a sick partner under the bus for money. This is a self-obsessed person that doesn't care about me or trust me, you. She doesn't give a fuck about you. How many messages have you got from her? Fucking loser. I don't know who he's talking to there. I don't know if he's talking about who's the loser. You know, is it the new boyfriend? Is it all of us who are her fans? I'm not sure what's going on here. Allegedly, Steven is in rehab. Now, a lot of people have been questioning that because they're like, you're not really supposed to have your phone, access to your phone in rehab. And he wrote back that I do have access until 10 p.m. I don't have it overnight. Well, if this is what's going to happen with him having access during the day, it obviously was not a good decision for him. He's clearly talking about Laura in this post. He's talking about everything that's going on. He's continuing to incite people towards Laura. We don't even know if he's addressing her boyfriend. He sounds crazy. This is really such a shame in so many ways. Steven's mental health is clearly not in a good place. And I think, you know, with everything that I've talked about before, you know, I did want Steven to get a chance to be able to go to rehab, get some help, clear his head, and then to be able to address everything that's happening. Because in the past, Laura has told us and we've seen that he could be a really involved and good father. And I want that for his kids. And I want him to be a good co-parent and, you know, get along with Laura and for them to at least have some happiness on those terms, right? That's what I want for them. And I thought, well, you know, maybe it'll be really good if both of them stop talking about each other. Laura had posted on her social media she wasn't going to talk about it anymore. She was, in my opinion, maybe digging a little bit at Steven with some of the posts, but it wasn't directly about him. And she was just saying, like, I'm sad. It was really hard going to court. I've had a hard day. She had some friends come over and they would go out and make videos together that were funny. I mean, she's doing her thing. She's making her money on social media. And here's where I need to break in and show you guys part of another post that was made by Steven this morning, which I didn't see until now, and I just want you to be aware of it. I think it's even more concerning than the last one. It says, "It's become apparent to me who's behind this alienation, parental alienation, and I will fight this person to the death. I will not rest until they are pulverized to the ground." I'm not kidding. I'm ready anytime. I will kill them for my kids. You have to acknowledge this. You have to make this happen. I am ready to kill. It's absolutely devastating that he would speak like this, and I just wanted to go ahead and include that post as well to further emphasize that this is getting worse, and it's really sad to watch it. So, you know, she was staying within the parameters of what the judge had asked, and Steven went and did all of this. I think it's going to look horrible for him in court. Like I said, he just sealed his fate. He's also made a lot of posts stating that he's going to get this amazing lawyer, like the top lawyer in California, and he'll take Laura for all the money that she has, or he's going to get 50% of the house that she's in and 50% of his house. So obviously not all the money, but he wants it to be 50-50. And these are just things that he wasn't supposed to be talking about, and it's not good for anyone. Now, Laura did respond, and she said this. Again, Laura had stayed quiet for quite a while, and she put this post up in response to what Steven did this morning, basically saying that he was going to kill someone, possibly her boyfriend. I don't know. Laura says, "Woke up this morning feeling blindsided again. After the hearing, I was genuinely relieved to hear he had chosen to go to rehab. I was hopeful. I thought maybe this was the moment he'd finally get the help he needs to someday show up for his children. Last night, I even had a fleeting moment of peace. I told myself, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore, Laura. And then I woke up to more threats, harassment, terrifying posts, messages that keep coming through the night, violent, violating, and deeply disturbing. How am I still shocked when this has been a pattern? Maybe that's the head fuck of abuse, the cycle, the whiplash, the public nature of it makes it even more surreal." Okay, I get that. Now, I do think that Laura has participated in, both of them have created a really crazy, unique situation where everything that they do is public, and it's kind of insane. "Every time I have a moment of joy or make something funny again, I get slammed down. Told I'm worthless, threatened, and made to feel unsafe. I don't understand the need to destroy the mother of your children. I'm still praying for him, but I'm also protecting myself and our kids." And then she posts this picture of herself. I feel really sad. Oh God, I feel really sad for Laura. I'm sure that it's deeply depressing and anxiety causing. I've definitely been in situations and relationships that were deeply anxiety causing, and when it has to do with your kids, it's got to be tenfold. So, of course, I feel badly for her. I think she would have been such the bigger person if she didn't say anything. And I think she definitely would have looked amazing in the eyes of the judge if she just didn't say anything back to Stephen. I think she could just be going about this in the background, continuing to, re-petition the court like he's doing more stuff. I need more protection or whatever, because putting this public isn't helping either one of them. So I had to make this video because, of course, people were acting like I'm exclusively supporting an abusive, awful human being in Stephen Hilton. And I wanted to make it clear, when Stephen does something awful and abusive, I'm ready and willing to call it out and acknowledge it. This is awful. Even if there's a slight chance Stephen does have a team who tracks the hacking back to Laura's friend, you have to be able to show you can still control your anger, especially publicly as a person with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Stephen is wrong, and he's clearly sick, dealing with mental illness. He was given an amazing opportunity by the judge to show his maturity, and he's failed. Where does it go from here? I assume he will get the restraining order. They will eventually complete their divorce, and the rest of it is up to Stephen getting healthier. I still continue to hope Laura will not bash him online to her millions of subs, but I cannot deny she has every right to be heartbroken and scared at this point. I know I won't be watching further. Hang in there, my friends. Maybe some lighter content coming down the line. Prayers for the kids in the middle of all of this, and I will see you all again soon.